Okay, I'm Dr. Thomas Linley, and I specialise in deep sea fish, particularly those of the deeper deep sea fish, so sort of 4,000 metres and deeper.
An interesting subject. What is the significance of your choice of this subject?
I think it's very exciting. I think it's very interesting. They're animals very different from us. They're living at extremes of sort of biology, so they can teach us a lot about sort of other life and what the limits of life are. And also they make up most of the planet. Most of the Earth's surface is 4,000 meters deep or deeper. So considering it's so unusual to us, it's most of the planet. We're the ones that are unusual.
Okay. You've been lucky enough to be involved in many firsts. Could you give us some examples?
We did some very exciting work in the Mariana Trench. It's where we found the Mariana snailfish. We were also the first people to see the ethereal snailfish as well. That was on Blue Planet 2 and did a few of the rounds. It's a really, really beautiful fish. So for one of the world's deepest fish, it's quite magical. It's not a frightening thing. It's very beautiful.
I've learned that before I interview you, you accrued over 600 days of seagoing experience. Could you share with us about a dangerous situation you might?
I really enjoy field work. It's a lot of hard work, but it is exciting being there and being sort of some of the first people to see. Yeah, we've been through some big storms on a very small vessel, 28-meter long vessel. We went across the South Fiji Basin and we hit a big storm there. So it was strapping ourselves into our bunks and holding on tight really. So very, very seasick.
Okay, so what impact for deep sea fish along with climate change recent years?
We still don't fully understand the impacts climate change are going to have. Off the top of my head, sort of key vulnerabilities would be the acidifications of the ocean becomes more prevalent under higher pressures. And so the calcium compensation depth, the depth where it's difficult to make hard parts of the body, is going to get shallower. So we might see that impacting fish. Another big worry is the changes in the water currents. The deep sea is sort of refreshed with fresh oxygen where water sinks at the poles, so cold, well-oxygenated water sinks down. If we lose those currents, then the oxygen will essentially be cut off to the deep sea.
Meet the deepest fish in the ocean, a new species named the Mariana snailfish. Could you describe Mariana snailfish, such as its appearance or its habits?
It's currently the record holder for the confirmed deepest fish. There's some older records that may or may not be deeper, but we know we saw this animal alive at those depths. And it's not what you think of as a deep sea fish. It is small, it's pink. I'm probably quite biased, but I think they're quite cute. They've got like sort of smiling faces and they're quite charming in the way they move. They sort of snuffle along the bottom. They're transparent. Their body's made of a lot of gel, so you can actually see the internal organs through their sides. And they seem to exist in small groups down there. They seem almost friendly. They're a really nice little animal. I've watched probably hundreds of hours of them by now, and they're really charming fish. I've become quite fond of them.
Do you think what is the achievement of you or your team last scientific research?
We've had a lot of big achievements really. The Mariana snailfish was a big one. We're starting to get past the original exploration stage, so we're going to places and we have no idea what we're going to find there. We're getting more and more familiar with how the deep sea works, and we're starting to have more theories about sort of the mechanisms in play. So rather than just going somewhere and seeing what's there, now we're starting to guess what's going to be there, look at the mechanism, so where these fish are turning up.
Okay, go back to your lecture that day. How to deep the deep sea fish. Can you use your simple sentence to explain?
Oh, how to be a deep sea fish?
Yeah.
The first big issue is getting over the pressure. So it's not so much how deep you are, it's how much weight of water is pushing down on you. And there's a few tricks that fish do to get over that, but you can't see most of them. Most of them are at the molecular level. And then beyond that, it's the specific issues of living in the deep sea. So it's very low food, very sparse food. It could be very spread out. And coping in sort of a total lack of daylight. So having eyes adapted to bioluminescence or finding other ways to find your way around.